Alright, hey guys, and welcome to probably one of my first episodes here. Now I want to do a formal introduction onto this channel, kind of showing all the cars that I have and what kind of content you can expect on this channel. But unfortunately, with the weather coming to kind of an end here in Connecticut, it's getting cold, we're entering winter, it's the beginning of December right now. It's kind of tough to get all the cars out, get some good weather where it's not windy and get a proper film day. So you know, I just didn't want to wait anymore. I kind of wanted to just dive in and start filming and give you guys some content and show you some of the stuff I'm going to be doing over the winter. So today, over here, as you can see, we've got the Land Cruiser 80 series. It is in the barn of the back of my house. I'm very grateful that I have this space. It is a bit of a shared space. You'll see some random, you know, yard equipment and tools like that in here. But for the most part, I can fit a car in here and I can work on it, so I'm really happy about that. So I got this truck in here because last weekend, you know, I was working on the sunroof to try and stop the leak. It got better, but it's not perfect, and I don't want to rust out the floorboards, so I popped it in here. I don't need to use this truck a lot right now because I got my GTI back, which is my daily driver. So this can sit in here while I fix some of the other small stuff. So today what we're going to be doing is continuing some of the rust removal that I've started on this truck. Now this is a Northeast truck. It first started off life in New Hampshire, then Vermont, and then it came to New York, and then I have it. So and it's a 91 truck, so it's been on the road for almost 30 years now. So what I'm planning to do is go along the rear of the frame where most of the rust is. There's a lot of oil leaks, unfortunately, on the middle of the truck and the front of the truck. So that part of the frame is pretty well preserved, but I do want to focus on the rear. A lot of the control arms, a lot of the joints where you've got bracketry to hold on, the links for the suspension, stuff like that. I've started off and coated pretty much everything behind the rear axle. So now I got to focus on that pretty much up to the middle of the truck where you start seeing the transfer case and transmission. So I'm going to start doing that. Let me take you guys and show you what I'm talking about. This time I'm actually going to take the wheels off because the frame rails on the side, it's kind of hard to reach around. And before, these lug nuts were stuck, but I just got new wheels and tires, so they should be free now. So I'm going to take those off, and it should make work a little bit easier. So let me show you what I'm about to do. Alright, so excuse the lighting. We're going to have to use a flashlight here because I'm still working on proper lighting in here. But as you can see inside there, the frame isn't terrible. You can start to see where the real black is over there, like right along the bottom over there. That's where the new paint is. But I want to take those drain plugs out, fix a little bit of that. Coming over to this side, you can see there's a fair bit going on here. This is probably a really bad section. Not really sure what I'm going to do there yet because this metal is pretty much rotted, as you can see right there. So it's not looking too good. If we take a peek under the truck, let's see if I can get a good angle there. So you can see it's mostly surface rust. It's not rotted through, which is a saving grace and the reason why I bought this truck. So we are going to use some products. Let me show you exactly what I'm going to be using. Alright, so these are the main things that I have chosen to use to start working on this truck. When I first got this truck, I ordered a bunch of stuff from Eastwood, primarily the rust encapsulator, which is a paint, and this right here, which is called rust dissolver. Now this I'm not too big a fan of for this truck specifically. It's a great product. Essentially what it does is if there is any metal that's rusted, and you have like bubbling up on the surface and it's kind of pitted and stuff like that, this will literally eat away at it, and you can go back with a wire wheel or something and clean it all off. That's what it's good for. Now if you've already prepped your frame with a bunch of, you know, wire wheels, brushes, and even a needle scaler, this is a big help. We'll talk about that in just a sec. If you've gone ahead and done that, this is kind of useless because this does a lot of the manual work for you. What you would want instead is something like a rust converter, not a rust dissolver. They're two separate things, and unfortunately I didn't do enough research and know that, so I'm kind of stuck with this. I'm sure I'll use it, find uses for it, but for right now I'm not going to use that. Now I did want to go ahead and get the Eastwood's rust converter, but the issue is that they take a little bit of time to ship things out, and I got this off Amazon, which is Seal Rust Converting Metal Primer. I don't believe that this is as strong as the Eastwood's version, but you know, it was quick. It came in one day, and it does a pretty decent job. And this frame, for the most part, has been needle scaled all the way through. So I think if I go over with maybe a grinder, with an angle grinder, some sanding, I can just get off that light scaling off again, put some of this on today, and then tomorrow go ahead and start painting the frame again. I think that will work a lot, but I want to go over this beauty right here. At first, when I started working on the rust of this on this frame, I was just using wire wheels and things like that, and it was taking forever. And I was like, there's got to be a quicker way. So I hopped on the internet, watched a few YouTube videos, and I found this that is sold at Harbor Freight. Basically, what it is it's a pneumatic tool, so you must have an air compressor of some sort to use this. It comes with your normal NPT fitting, and there's just a cylinder in here that goes up and down, and it vibrates. And basically what it does is these little needles right here, it shakes them up and down, and you have 3 stages right here. You have light, medium, and heavy. I used heavy on this truck. You got to be cautious where you do that. I did accidentally puncture a hole in one of the gas tank lines, and I had to patch that up. That kind of sucked. But these are definitely worth it. I think they're about 30 bucks, and it speeds up the process like crazy. So if you're trying to do rust remediation, definitely consider one of those, especially if you have an air compressor. It's a no-brainer. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, clean off the frame lightly, put some of this on, and see how that goes. So I had to step away for a little bit, help my parents with some stuff. We had some small errands to run, so it's a little bit past lunch, back here now. Before I left, I did get the wheels off, so let's see. We've got the rear jacked up and on jack stands, so this will hopefully give you a little bit better idea of what we were talking about earlier on. You can see frame isn't horrible, but areas like this we're going to be trying to clean up a bit. And yeah, so first we're gonna hit all this stuff with the wire wheel, which I've got right over here. So I'm using actually a corded drill. The reason why I like this versus one on a battery is, you know, the ones on the battery, when you hit them and you stop, the motor stops immediately. It almost has like a brake to it, whereas these continue spinning, so it works a little bit easier. You can modulate the speed a little bit better. So I'm going to use this, get some goggles on, clean up a lot of that, and then we can finally start getting to this stuff right here, the Seal, and hopefully leave that overnight, and that should help to get a lot of the rust converted back to paintable metal, and then we'll take care of it from there. Alright, so this project is taking a lot longer than I expected. I had to go walk the dog, do some other stuff again. But before I left, I did get the frame finished with the wire wheel. I pulled out the grinder with the sanding wheel. That turned out to be pretty effective. So I went ahead and did that. It's funny enough, side to side, that side, the passenger side of the frame, wasn't as bad for some odd reason. I'm not too sure why. But, you know, like I said, I was working up to about the transfer case, which is pretty much in line with right over here, this seam right here between the front and rear door. So let me show you what that looks like now. So as you can see right over here, it's still, I mean, these parts are going to be very difficult to get, near impossible. But if you look at parts of the frame along here, you can see that it's not as badly pitted as, say, an area like that, which is not reachable. So right now we're going to do the Seal, which is this stuff right over here. Now I'm going to take one of these buckets that I have. Let's see, I'm going to put you guys down real quick. So we're going to be using one of these buckets. I'll probably use this one. It's got some old residue from the rust dissolver, so I'll probably clean that out and then put some Seal in it and see how it goes. Now to applicate it, I got some brushes yesterday, just some cheap brushes, nothing special. Let me put you guys up here actually. So yeah, I'm going to use these brushes right over here. I'll probably use the medium-sized one just to get quicker, make quicker work of this. So let's see. We're gonna use this one right over here, which I believe is 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches. So we're gonna pour some out, put it in there. Now it's important that whatever product you do use, you don't put it back in here because it will get contaminated and it'll mess up everything in the rest of the gallon. It's pretty much useless. So you pour out a little bit at a time, use it as you need. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. One other thing, I don't know what the deal is with the chemical compound of this core seal, but when I went ahead and used the other stuff from Eastwood, my hands started feeling a little tingly and weird, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use gloves anyway. I mean, I don't think that this is gonna have an issue, but it just doesn't hurt to put on some gloves. We're gonna pour this out in just a second to see how smelly it is. I'm gonna pop. Let's see, where did I just put that brush? There. Yeah, this doesn't smell that bad. You know what? It's like clear white. That's kind of strange. I'm gonna shake this up a bit. So just for reference, I didn't shake this and I poured it out, and it's like pure white. Pretty sure it looks like milk, honestly. So I'm not sure if it's now it smells like Elmer's glue. So let's see what this looks like now. Yeah, I guess that's what this stuff looks like. And it's supposed to change color as you apply it, so maybe that's how it is supposed to be. Alright, we're just gonna do that little bit right there. How much did I pour out? I poured out 4 ounces. I don't know how much that's gonna cover, but we will take a look. Alright, so I am putting the camera just on this little bit right here for demonstration purposes. Let's see if this works out the way that it should. It's supposed to start turning into like a dark color when it does activate. I'm gonna put on this stuff pretty liberally because there are some spots I can't get into, so whatever I get, I get. So yeah, you can see the top portion, it's working. So this stuff definitely is good. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and start going to town on this, and I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. So I'm gonna go ahead, coat the whole entire rear end of the frame, and we'll probably pick up filming tomorrow and see what the process is, see where it looks, see how it looks, and hopefully we can clean it off with some mineral spirits, and put some paint on it. Keppa, is it time we finish? Yeah? You want to go do stuff inside? Okay. Alright, so I was trying to finish this up and the dog came scratching on the door, which means he is fed up with me being in here. So thankfully I finished up what I wanted to do, so let me show you guys what it is that the final Seal product looks like. I'm gonna have to use a flashlight again. I'm gonna try and work on lighting in here, but right now I just gotta make do with what I've got because winter is quickly approaching and I just need to get this done. So yeah, you can see the color has definitely changed there. I went pretty crazy with it. It's literally all over, all along down that frame rail, all along the support across here. Literally anywhere that I saw rust forming is where I went and did that. So I don't know what I don't know what it's gonna do to the paint here, but that part was starting to rot out, and I'm sure it still will, but if I can get some of that rust off and just slap a little bit of paint on there and make it look halfway decent, that'd be great. There's a little bit forming on the bottom of the door, so I just went ahead and did that over there too. So if you have a clean truck, or a clean car for that matter, and you're trying to get rust off of it, I don't recommend what I just did on the paint right there. I don't know what the end result's gonna be. But given that this is an old car and it's not the cleanest 80 series in the world, it's just something I want to look halfway decent and be able to take me where I need to go and come back reliably. So that's why I did what I did there. So we're gonna pack up. It's getting really cold now. It's almost dropping to below freezing. I got my little space heater here, but it's not really doing much anymore. So we're gonna head inside and come back tomorrow. And supposedly it's not gonna rain, and it should warm up a little bit with the sunlight. So maybe we can open up the garage door, because that paint gets a little stinky. So you know, we're gonna need some ventilation when we start to do that. Another thing that I do want to do that's uncar related, this barn has a heater up there. Now it comes with this huge propane tank in the backyard that I'm not too sure if it's working or not, so I'm gonna have to get that figured out. But once we get that thing cranking, this place should stay nice and warm. So yeah, I'm gonna head off for tonight, and so we'll pick up tomorrow and see where we are.